Hello everyone, today I'm going to be checking out Cafe 86, which is a popular Filipino bakery chain that has multiple shops throughout California. I'm really looking forward to checking them out because they have a lot of shops and they're rapidly expanding throughout California, so they must be really popular, and they specialize in a lot of Filipino desserts using ube, which is purple yam, and I love ube in pretty much anything. Let's go. I have a feeling I'm going to be in ube heaven pretty soon. I just made it back from Cafe 86 and we have so many different things to try, but I want to start off with a drink. They have so many different drinks on their menu. One of their most popular items is sort of like a dessert slash a drink, which is the famous Filipino halo halo, but I just knew that that wouldn't transport well, so I decided to go for their strawberry calamansi drink instead. And calamansi is almost like a Filipino citrus. It's like really small, sort of looks like a cross between a lemon and a lime, and it's really tart and tangy and flavorful, and I love it. And I think that's going to go great with a little bit of strawberry. Wow, this is really tasty. It's so refreshing and light. It definitely has a mild flavor. It's not too overpowering or punch you in the face tart. It's just a very gentle, sweet orange flavor with a little bit of lemon, and I really love the touch of the strawberry. It really adds a lot and it pairs nicely with it. Now for ube desserts, I want to start off with our tres leches cake, which is already starting to melt because they said on the website it's soaked in some sort of coconut milk, and there looks like so much ube in here. I mean, everything about this is pure purple dark ube flavor, and it really smells like it too. This is such an interesting dessert. It's like a textural party in your mouth. On the bottom you have the cake, which is soaked in that coconut milk, which really enhances the flavor of the ube. It's really delicate and it just melts as it touches your tongue. And then above that you have the plain cake, which has a bit more of a chew. And then on top you have the ube cream. It doesn't really taste super whipped creamy because all you taste is that rich and intense heavy ube flavor, which I love so much. I mean, this is pretty sweet, but it is really addicting. Next, I'm going to be trying out the ube cheesecake. I think this looks really interesting. You have a dense ube layer on top of a crumbly crust, so it's more of like a crumble crust style, which I really like when it comes to cheesecake. This is not at all what I was expecting, but I'm so pleasantly surprised. It has the denseness and the richness of a New York cheesecake. It really has that dense, sort of cream cheesy, rich flavor, and it also is a little bit salty from the cream cheese, which I really enjoy. I love salty with my sweet desserts. And then you have the rich ube flavor, and I think the most addicting part of it is the little crumbles on top, as well as the crust, which adds a really pleasant butteriness. I certainly know why this is called the ube cracked cheesecake. It's because it's really addicting, and although I can't see myself eating a ton of them, one of them is certainly one indulgent and delicious crack-like treat. This looks almost too good to be true. This is the ube leche flan cupcake, and flan is one of my favorite Filipino desserts. I mean, you see it at pretty much every single Filipino restaurant you go to, and this looks like a great combination. They even have a toasted sugar syrup on top of the flan, just soaking into the cupcake as I speak. This is unbelievable. You have to try this. This is one of their most popular items from their bakery, according to the people working there, and I can see why. I love the flavor of the cake. It's really dense and rich and full of flavor, and I love the flan on top. That is some of the smoothest and densest flan I've ever had. It really gets on this caramely notes and a little bit of toastiness, and it's so rich and just ultra smooth and buttery soft. I think a really important part of this is the syrup. It adds so much toasty sweetness, and I think that pairs really well with the cake because I love how it soaks into it and moistens it up a bit because it's so moist and delicate. This is their butter bar. This looks really interesting. It almost looks like a pie crust on the bottom and some sort of ube topping on top, and it definitely is not exaggerated when they say it's a butter bar because I already feel my hands getting greasy with all the butter on here, and I love butter, especially when it's in a pastry or dessert like this. This is amazing as well. The top is a really interesting texture. I thought it would be a little bit more soft, but it definitely has an almost fluffy cake-like texture, which I think is really interesting. And the bottom crust is really the best part. It's really nice and crisp and toasted on the bottom, and you can tell that they're using brown butter because it's perfectly golden caramelized brown on the bottom, and you get that really unique nuttiness that I love from brown butter. Now I'm gonna go for these ube crinkles, and I love ube crinkles whenever I see them at a Filipino bakery, and I have a feeling these ones are gonna be really nice. So look at that break. It's just really cakey, soft, and delicate. This cookie has such a pleasant texture. It's really light and airy and almost has the texture of a cake batter cookie because it's so light and fluffy. However, I will say it could use a little bit more butter. It's not quite as buttery as some of the other treats I had, but I do really love the flavor of the powdered sugar on the outside and the ube inside. Now for the ube pop-tart, and this just looks like a pie crust basically filled with ube filling. It almost looks similar to that ube cream that's on top of the ube tres leches, but I have a feeling it's a little bit different. This is by far the best Pop-Tart I've ever had. I feel like it's almost a crime to call it a Pop-Tart. The best description for me is it's almost like an inverted pie because you have this rich, buttery, freshly baked pie crust on the outside with a rich ube filling. It definitely tastes like an ube paste, so it's really hit you in the face, and I love it that way. I finally made it to the last item. This is the Tarone Pop-Tart, which I'm really looking forward to. Tarone is a traditional Filipino pastry that's deep fried and filled with banana and jackfruit. And this time, this is a Pop-Tart, aka basically a pie crust filled with banana and jackfruit. And I'm really looking forward to this because I love jackfruit. It's one of my most favorite tropical fruits. As much as I love ube, this is a great change because it's a lot different. You really get a lot of that jackfruit flavor. I love that it's really packed in there and that you're not skimped on the filling, and it goes great with banana because I feel like it has a really interesting tropical flavor. It almost reminds me of a cross between like a mango and a banana. So all those flavors paired together with this beautiful toasted pie crust, it's just really perfect. As much as I enjoyed all the items, the really two big favorites for me were the Tarone Pop-Tart, which I thought was really unique, and the ube leche flan cupcake. I mean, this one, if anything, was a little bit above this, you know? It was so unique and tasty. I've never seen anything like it before, and I mean, I really wish they sold their flan just as is because I would buy a huge platter of it because the flan in there is really the crowning jewel. I strongly suggest that if you live in California, you go onto the Cafe 86 website and look them up, because chances are there might be a location that's not too far away from you, and trust me, you're not going to be disappointed. I really loved their variety of desserts, and they all tasted really freshly made and were so amazing. Anyways, I really hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.